Thank you so much for staying with us. My name is Winfrey Agbeleshi, and it's time for us to take the news. Yesterday made it 64 years after Nigeria gained its independence, and President Bola Tinubu is appealing to Nigerians to remain patient as the reforms will soon show positive results. Now, in a nationwide broadcast earlier yesterday, President Tinubu announced a 30-day youth conference to address the growing challenges of the youths. Now, TVC News State House correspondent Femi Akonde has details.
President Bola Tinubu's nationwide broadcast begins with an acknowledgement of the prevailing economic hardship in the country and an assurance that his administration is aware and working to alleviate the sufferings.
Once again, I plead for your patience as the reforms we are implementing show positive signs, and we are beginning to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
But again, the president also admits that 64 years after independence, the journey of nationhood has recorded modest successes.
We have learned to embrace our diversity and manage our differences better as we continue to work towards engendering a more perfect union.
President Bola Tinubu says the economy is undergoing the necessary reforms and retooling to serve Nigeria better and more sustainably.
If we do not correct the physical misalignment that led to the current economic downturn, our country will face an uncertain future and the peril of unimaginable consequences.
This year's commemoration of the 64th independence anniversary is celebrated low-key because of recent events in Borno State and other parts of the country where floods have caused severe devastation. But it appears this will be the last time the country will be hit with such severe impact of floodings.
We approved a disaster relief fund to mobilize private and public sector funds to help us respond faster to emergencies. Our government has also ordered integrity tests of our dams in the country to avert future disasters.
President Bola Tinubu says Nigeria must remain mindful of the next generation as it seeks to galvanize their creative energy towards a better future.
This conference will be a platform to address the diverse challenges and opportunities confronting our young people, who constitute more than 60% of our population. It will provoke meaningful dialogue and empower our young people to participate actively in nation building by ensuring that their voices are heard in shaping the policies that impact their lives.
The current administration says it has improved on fiscal responsibility and also reduced the debt burden of the country, while it continues to meet all its obligations and pay its bills.
We inherited a reserve of over 33 billion 16 months ago. Since then, we have paid back the inherited forex backlog of 7 billion. We have cleared the ways and means debt of over 30 trillion naira. We have reduced the debt service ratio from 97% to 68%. Despite all this, we have managed to keep our foreign reserve at 37 billion.
Overall, President Bola Tinubu calls for understanding as his administration continues the difficult journey of implementing necessary economic reforms, which, according to government data, are already beginning to yield results. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.
Away from the Independence Day celebration, the United Arab Emirates flag carrier, Emirates, has resumed flight operations to Nigeria. The development comes almost 2 years after the suspension of operation by the airline. This afternoon, the airline's first flight landed at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. The flight EK783, which traveled for over 8 hours, touched down at the MMIA at 3:32 p.m. in November 2022. Emirates suspended flight operations to Nigeria over its inability to repatriate its $85 million revenue trapped in the country. Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development Festus Keyamo in April announced that he received a letter from the airline confirming that all the issues have been resolved and is prepared to resume flights. Nigeria and the UAE agreed on reciprocal rights ahead of the resumption of Emirates Airlines flight operations. And outside Nigeria, Iran has launched a large-scale missile attack on Israel. The Israel Defense Forces says approximately 180 missiles were fired from Iran towards Israel. An Israeli security official confirmed that most of the missiles were intercepted by the Israeli Air Force in cooperation with the U.S. Air Force's Central Command. Several hits were also identified as officials said the damage is currently being assessed. Israel has also threatened that the attack will have consequences. This development comes as Israeli troops invade Lebanon in a ground operation against Hezbollah. The Lebanese Prime Minister mentioned that at least 1 million persons have been displaced by the latest attacks by Israel. And over to sports. Arsenal secured their first win in the new UEFA Champions League in Timber off at the halftime. And that's all we're taking on the news and sports for this hour. Do stay with us. So much more to come right here on Wake Up Nigeria.